Right. Selamat pagi, good morning, members of the media. Thank you for making the time for being with us. Terima kasih kerana sudi hadir. I know all of you had a malam yang cukup panjang, but it was a good night yesterday with the win. Hari ini saya sebagai pengurus pasukan bawah 17 ingin memberi sedikit maklumat mengenai pelantikan jurulatih kebangsaan bawah 17 dan juga persiapan pasukan untuk U17. Pertama sekali saya mengalukan kedatangan Coach Osmera Omaro, Kabi Chilban dan Nazril kepada Welcome to FAM. Ketiga-tiga individu ini dan juga beberapa jurulatih nama yang saya akan sebutkan dalam list telah pun dilantik sebagai jurulatih pasukan kebangsaan bawah 17 sebenarnya pada mesyuarat jawatankuasa pasukan kebangsaan beberapa bulan dulu. And allow me to read some of the names. I think B will hand over the list to you. Ketua jurulatih untuk U17 ialah Coach Osmera yang telah lama bersama AMD. Beliau mempunyai kursus kejurulatihan AFC A license. He is also part of the AFC Project Future team, coaching development team. Dan beliau telah lama bersama AMD, and he is also done a lot of the coaching stint dengan di Croatia, Bosnia, Germany, Australia dan England. Dan beliau juga merupakan pada 2019 penuh jurulatih kepada projek skuad. Dan selepas itu, if you look at the list, kita ada assistant coach bekas pemain negara Amir Taj Rizwan yang tak dapat bersama kita hari ini kerana beliau sedang mengendalikan pasukan di AMD. Amir Taj, as you know, bekas pemain negara, pernah bermain di Liga Super dan sebagainya. Tak perlulah saya introduce beliau kerana cukup memang terkenal dalam kancah bola sepak negara. Kita punya goalkeeper coach Muhammad Nazril, Mat Nordin, juga bekas pemain di Liga Super. He played with Perlis, Perak, ATM, dan mempunyai coaching license B license, dan juga telah lama bersama pasukan AMD. The team is complete. We have head of high performance Khairul Afiq, for sports science background, so he's in charge of all high performance and fitness training. We have Muhammad Amirul, our sports performance analyst and also video analyst. He's also from AMD. But he has done a couple of coaching courses with sports science background. Assistant coach yang kedua yang telah pun kita lantik ialah Inspektor Tuan Kawi Chilban. Saya juga mengambil kesempatan ini untuk merakamkan penghargaan FAM dan juga ucapan terima kasih kepada Ketua Polis Negara Tan Sri Akril Sani yang sebenarnya meluluskan permohonan FAM untuk mendapatkan Kavi Chilban sebagai on secondment. So Kavi has joined secondment beliau bermula pada bulan lepas, dan pada I think last Monday Kavi telah pun melaporkan diri ke Akademi Moqtadari di Gambang. So he is based in AMD, seconded from PDRM. So welcome to the team, Kabi. Last but not least, as far as the coaching team is concerned, we have added assistant coach, Coach Effendi, bekas Effendi Malik, bekas pemain Negeri Sembilan, Sarawak, dan beliau juga mempunyai diploma AFC coaching dan AFC grassroots. Beliau sebenarnya merupakan penolong jurulatih kepada Coach Osmera, in the under 17 team. He's the current assistant coach. So you can see the coaches datang daripada very diversified background, different expertise dan sebagainya. We want to have a complete team. And I think you also have the call-up list in your hand. Kalau kita melihat, ini first call-up untuk pasukan U16. First centralized training akan diadakan di AMD pada 13 Jun sehingga 26 Jun. Yeah, players will be reporting for training on the 13th June to the 26th June in AMD. Kita ada seramai 27 pemain daripada AMD, current team, current players who are born 2006 and 2007. Dan kita juga telah memanggil 8 pemain daripada JDT U16. They will be joining us. And then we have a player, Adam Shafiq, yeah, from Global Talent. Yeah, and one player, most likely he has given his commitment, Ong Weli. He plays for Red Bulls New York. Kita telah pun melalui Coach Osmera, our technical director, skuad, we've been in touch with him for the last 2 months, dan hopefully he will be joining us for the training. Pada hari Isnin dia akan sampai daripada New York, dan this player has shown really interest untuk mewakili negara, but he's currently at the Red Bulls New York Academy, or the team, yeah. And last but not least, daripada PLD kita ada Ahmad Harith Safwan. List kedua, you will see the standby list, yang juga pemain-pemain daripada AMD bawah 16. Now, in terms of the competition, sebagaimana yang rakan-rakan daripada media telah pun dimaklumkan from the beginning, hari ini pada pukul 3 kita ada undian AFF bawah 16 yang akan berlangsung di Bogor pada 31 Julai sehingga 14 Ogos. So itu akan merupakan our first tournament, ya, for the team. Selepas itu kita ada AFC Under 16 qualifiers, di mana Malaysia berada dalam kumpulan bersama Palestine, UAE, Guam dan host country Indonesia. And this tournament will take place in Jakarta. Ini merupakan qualification untuk final round to Bahrain Manama 2023. As far as the team is concerned, after this I think Coach Osmera will brief daripada segi persiapan dan sebagainya. This is a partnership, sebagaimana ramai yang tahu, it's a partnership between FAM dan AMD. Of course, when they report for training, FAM looks after all the requirements, we look after the team dan sebagainya. Tetapi personally untuk saya juga telah banyak kali ke AMD, berjumpa dengan skuad kejurulatihan, jumpa dengan pemain-pemain sebelum mereka berlepas ke Eropah, and we hope the best from the teams. And like I said, we trust in the coaching team because coaches datang daripada the very diversified background, yeah, and kebanyakan, or I would say 80% of these players already been with Osmera for almost couple of years, so he knows the players, he understands them, and he has a very good setup. Yeah, so I invite Coach Osmera just to bagi a very short introduction about the team and how did they perform in Europe, the teams that they played, what kind of process did they go through. Coach Osmera.
Thank you, U17 Team Manager Mr. Christopher. Assalamualaikum. Good morning to all. I'm Osmera, appointed by FAM as the head coach for this U17 team. Okay. Sebenarnya agak mengejutkan, saya tak sangka dapat pelantikan ini. Sebab as you know, I'm not the famous ex-football guy, but of course I've worked for quite a long time in this business. So first of all, I'd like to thank FM, Mr. Chris, Dato' Amidin, and of course the technical people at MSN. approving this appointment, which I have to admit again that was a big surprise for me. So I think moving on. For the competitions, we have 2 competitions this year. As Mr. Chris said, the first one AFF pada bulan 7-8, and then AFC, kelayakan ke Piala AFC, yang mana juga merupakan kelayakan ke Piala Dunia bawah 17. Kebanyakan pemain adalah daripada AMD, tetapi saya ingin maklumkan di sini bahawa dengan kerjasama di antara JDT, KPM, unit pengendalian bakat di AMD, kita telah actually quite early started this process of selection. That's why we have quite a different number of players in the list. We have a player from a normal school, PLD. We have a player from a private academy, and we have a player from overseas. Obviously playing for a good club. I'm quite excited to see what I can do, because he plays for quite a big club. Red Bull, we all know, Red Bull Salzburg, Red Bull. So this Red Bull New York is part of that team. So we're all waiting for him, and of course we have our besides AMD and the top academy in Malaysia, JDT, we have quite a good partnership with them now. So we have quite called up quite a big number this time of them. So we are really hoping that this time they will contribute, because I have seen the games. We have played quite a few games with them, and they are looking at good quality. So I've been with this team since the boys were from last year, when they masa mereka umur U15. So ini masuk tahun kedua saya bersama mereka. Okay. Saya rasa tim ni untuk performance, kalau ada yang tertanya-tanya tim ni macam mana bentuk tim ni adalah tim yang bermain di Piala Belia pada tahun ini, dan setakat ni result semua agak baik, performance pun agak baik. Dan untuk tim AMD, kita telah ada melakukan satu playing tour di Europe, baru balik 2 minggu lepas, dan ini satu experience yang baru untuk tim Malaysia, sebab biasanya bila tim Malaysia ke Europe, kita akan bermain di kategori U15 dan ke bawah, di mana pemain-pemain di Eropah pada masa itu dia belum matang. So kita boleh bersaing sebab kita mungkin ada lebih sedikit kelebihan. So apabila kita pergi lawan tim semasa mereka U16, so mereka sekarang ni lebih matang, so ada quite a big difference. Dan came as a big surprise actually that it seems like, aside from some physical difference and some maturity, pemain Europe ni dia matang in terms of thinking and of course in size. But other than that, agak mengejutkan bagi saya bahawa pemain kita sebenarnya boleh bersaing dengan agak baik. Saya boleh bagi tahu di sini sangat agak mengejutkan. Ramai mungkin expert daripada Europe yang datang ke Malaysia, mereka sentiasa cakap, no, the Malaysian boys are talented. Maybe it's true. We hope that this is true. So moving on, for the team we have Mr. Chris has prepared some good programs. We have the start of this tour because kita kena finalisekan nama, the exact players who will be playing, and then we have one international tour plan hopefully, and then we will have a camp. This is all prior to AFF, and then after AFF we might also play a few international games. We have Vietnam and Singapore lined up at the moment, and Mr. Chris is still looking at a few more other options. This is after AFF and looking forward to the AFC qualifications. So that is all from me.
Thank you,
Mr. Chris.
Thanks, Osmera. Mungkin some of you, just to add on some information, you may be wondering kenapa first centralized kita tak buat di FAM. First centralized ni kerana kebanyakan pemain-pemain daripada AMD dan sebagainya, and we thought we let the boys do national centralized di AMD. Dan the second centralized yang kita telah pun adakan dalam planning kita ialah seminggu sebelum mereka berlepas ke Bogor. That means kalau tournament pada 30 Julai, pada 20 Julai pasukan kebangsaan akan melapor diri ke FAM They will do the centralized training here, and then they leave for Indonesia. So that is the plan, the second centralized. So second centralized selepas selection of players will start on the 20th July, 22nd July, and then go the week training kat sini, maybe one friendly match, and then we depart for AFF under 16. You know? So that's itu saja daripada saya sebagai pengurus pasukan. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan daripada rakan-rakan media, saya akan cubalah jawab dengan sebaik-baik. Yes, Flash Sokan. Yes, Faizal.
Can I ask to the coach?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Coach, as we can see for this team, so the preparation untuk pasukan, persiapan pasukan, berdasarkan kita baru habis pandemik. Okay. So what do you think? Persiapan keseluruhan pasukan selepas pandemik COVID-19.
This is actually a brilliant question, because it is a massive problem. It is a massive problem because I think this is an interesting group of players who really needed games, and they have missed 2 years of games. We have some teams that do the thing naturally, but this is a team that needs the experience. So yeah, we have to say that there is some effect because of the lack of experience. That means now they are starting to play, and in football at youth level you learn things in stages. So at 13 you learn something, at 14 you learn something, at 15 you learn something, and all these are taught not by the coach, not by training, but by the actual experience of the game. Because in the game everything happens. So untuk team ni sekarang ni dia belajar macam semua kena masuk dalam satu. In this game they are learning 2 years worth of learning. So it is a big challenge, but I think we are now coping with it, and hopefully things will go well.
Just mention how many matches you played in Europe.
And then to add to that, we also had 6 quality matches in Europe, and we have played about 4 or 5 Piala Belia matches. So we have had about, you can see, with some good quality friendlies and all with JDT. So we have had about 12 to 15 good quality matches, especially with the ones in Europe, where we learn a lot. So hopefully these games and the games that will come in the future will cover for this lack of experience and all those sort of things.
Zul. Yeah, Zul.
Okay, the questions are good. Okay, yes, saya ada banyak experience bawa team. You can say sometimes that even though they go under the AMD umbrella, they are almost a national team because we know that most of the best players are there. Okay, so I have a lot of experience. We have played in this Wuhan Cup where it's full national team. Yeah, so I have the experience. We have played some big tournaments in Europe. I have those experience, but yes, this is a new one for me. I cannot say otherwise. So, same like what is happening to the players, where they are learning so much in such a short frame of time, is also happening to me. But I think we have a good director at AMD. We have a new director at FAM, skuad, who to compensate for all this. They are there to help me. Yeah.
Sebab perjalanan tu tinggal dalam sebulan setengah. Saya awal dari HarimauMalaya. Perjalanan tu dalam sebulan setengah lagi. So ada tak coach buat personal observation ataupun research atas paper potensi pasukan kita macam mana? Adakah sama tahap macam bawah 23 kita di belakang Thailand atau Vietnam? Ada link? Ada komen sikit untuk bawah 16.
Ini satu soalan because I think at youth level setiap generation tu dia akan ada perubahan sikit. generation ni, sebab bila kat youth level ni dia bukan macam under 23 or in senior mana the age is open, right? So kita ada satu player yang umur 37, ada satu player yang umur 18. So the strength will be almost the same. Okay, at youth level you depend on that generation. Kau satu umur je main, ataupun at most the orang umur yang rendah ni 2007 ni seorang dua akan masuk. So based on that generation, kita boleh katakan setiap team dia akan ada style based on the players available. So this one is actually difficult to say. Okay, but I think in my experience, normally the gap is not that far. The gap is always not that far, and nanti awak cakap saya belagak pula. But I believe that we always have the better players actually.
Assalamualaikum. Tanya Coach Osmera. Saya suki daripada utusan. Menjelang aksi pertama lah di Indonesia kan. Apa salah satu saya pada Mr. Chris lah, selaku pengurus skuad. Apa sasaran FFM letakkan untuk perjuangan tersebut, dan daripada 35 pemain ni berapa yang akan dibawa untuk menjadi perjuangan tersebut lah?
Register 23 kan. So, thank you Suki. Tanya join utusan Malaysia. Kita boleh register 23 pemain final registration. Of course, kalau ada keperluan seperti mana-mana pasukan, kita akan bawa 3 atau 4 additional players, selalunya 25 atau 26. Tapi final registration is 23. Yes, as far as the target is concerned, untuk AFF bawah 16, our first target is to qualify for the semi-finals. We must qualify for the semis. Ini bukan lawatan sambil belajar untuk pendedahan, tak ada. We are in competition mode. In competition mode, absolutely there must be target of qualification. That is why it's called qualification. It's not called a carnival. Qualifiers is to qualify for the next round. So for AFF, we must try our best, the target to qualify for semis, because our under 15 team, our under 16 before pernah layak ke final dan juga pernah juarai final bawah 16 AFF. So we need to work towards that. Untuk AFC qualifiers, definitely the target will be to qualify for the final rounds di Bahrain Manama. Because we have 5 teams. To make it easier, kita kena habis stop to qualify, atau we finish second, then the second best placed team to qualify. Tapi kita tahu we have Palestine. Jarang kita tengok Palestine main dalam, we don't know how good they are, because UAE of course, UAE is now playing in Europe. 2 bulan lebih they are playing in some international tournament. Kita ada Guam, and then of course host country Indonesia. Bila main di Indonesia, it is always a different environment, daripada segi mental pemain, the crowd, masa under 19 main di Jakarta a few years ago, stadium kecil pun boleh penuh 30,000 orang. That is the intensity. But this is where we need to prepare the boys, and we need to do our best. And those are my personal target, and I think saya dah bagi tahu dekat Coach Osmera juga. We need to prepare the team. So semi-finals for AFF and final rounds qualification for Bahrain. That is that should be our target. Thank you. Ada soalan lain? Ya, Zul. No, so via our secretariat dan also personal relationship, kita telah pun dapat persetujuan untuk bermain dengan Saudi Arabia, 3 perlawanan. But now we are discussing nak main di mana, because they offered us to main di Riyadh sebelum kita berangkat ke AFF Suzuki Cup. The date is too short. So now we are talking to Saudi FA to push it to August, and we play Singapore 2 matches maybe in Johor before we leave for AFC. Because the team players Zul are also sedang bermain dalam Piala Belia. So kita tak boleh nak postpone and all that. So kalau dia main dalam Piala Belia, they also regularly ada competitive matches setiap minggu, and then we try to slot in mana-mana kita boleh dapat the friendly matches. So for now we are talking to Saudi and Singapore FA. Initially both already given the commitment, so now we are arranging the schedules. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes.
Hello.
Dengar.
Soalan dari coach, saya Ian from Senarian. Coach, tadi macam yang Mr. Chris ada cakap kan mengenai sasaran kan. So how do you see that the sasaran itself? Is it like a big ataupun macam mana? Your comment on the sasaran.
Yang ini Coach Osmera cannot answer because that is my target. The target set by the management team, and we are in the same line, and we take one step at a time. I think Coach Osmera pun setuju. Yeah, AFF kita masuk semi-finals dulu, and then we see what is the next. We need to get in first, alright? And then AFC, like I said, it's we want to qualify for Bahrain Manama. You want to double confirm? I bagi balik mic dekat Coach Osmera.
Yeah, I think Mr. Chris has said it. Let's answer the question for you.
After semi-finals, you boleh tanya Coach Osmera.